your first, and I've taught this many times, so I'm just going to refresh it, so to speak, give it a reboot here, in that this idea of being hyper aware. We have to increase our awareness of ourselves and everybody else. Awareness doesn't mean that you have to necessarily take action, but at least you have more of an opportunity to choose to take an action if you're aware. So I want you to be much more aware of what you're thinking and what you're feeling all the time. I don't mean that you have to get involved in it. Like, you might just be aware, wow, I'm feeling pretty good right now. That's good. Or maybe, you know what, I'm really angry right now. Now I'm aware of it, I can ask myself, why? Do I have a real good reason? Or am I just letting something trigger me? But I have an awareness, like an outside of the body thing, looking at yourself, saying, as an observer, going, why are you so mad? Well, no, and don't give yourself all the reasons. Just say, but really, is that a reason to really be that mad? I mean, is this the appropriate reaction for what's going on right now? Same thing then with thoughts that come in your head that you don't really want. Well, if you're aware of those thoughts quickly, you can do what Scripture talks about in terms of taking them into captivity, and then you can decide what to do with the thought. The problem is the thought, very quickly, before you're even aware of it, starts having emotional connection. You feel something about the thought. The thought made you happy, made you sad, made you angry, made you this, made you that, because before you decided how to feel about it, it happened so quickly, you didn't get that chance. And so a thought is just information. Information is neutral. So you have a thought. Maybe that thought is something that if you took action on it would not be appropriate. Okay, well then take that information and discard it. Quarantine it, lock it up, whatever needs to be done with it, before you have an emotion connect with it. And once an emotion connects with it, the likelihood of an action greatly increases. The more the emotion, the more likely the action. Okay? So the number one personal development tool you need is to increase your awareness of everything. Awareness. That doesn't mean nosiness, busybodiness, and everything, but just being aware. And then also being aware of yourself. How do I tend to respond to what I'm aware of? You may discover, all you blues, you may discover that you're getting involved in all these things that you don't need to get involved in just because you're aware of them. You may have an awareness that just, wow, something happening over there, and now you're aware that you want to go and get involved, but you could say, no, I'll just leave it alone. It doesn't really need me. Because a lot of people really have that problem, because 40% of the population is blue, according to Dr. Taylor Hartman, so that, from the color code thing. And so it's probably the number one of the colors there out there. And so therefore, most people will likely struggle with this idea that just because I'm aware of something, I may think I need to then involve myself in some way. And the answer is not always. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But if you have an awareness of you, which means that I'm aware that I just saw something or I just heard something, and I'm aware how I'm starting to feel about what I just saw or heard, I can then choose to grab a hold of that. And if I grab a hold of it, I can then make a choice as to what to do. Instead of reacting, I can choose proactively the next action, the response. I want you to respond and not react. Response is by choice. Reaction is automatic. It's triggered. It's something you've trained yourself to do, okay? As opposed to responding consciously, all right? I see something going on, and I have to decide who's involved, what's happening, is it under control? I'm a supervisor in almost every aspect of the life that I live. Whenever I'm with people, I have some usually responsibility, and I have to decide, does it need me to be involved? Or is it under control, even though it doesn't look like it's fully under control, or is somebody else better suited? Maybe I need to get somebody else to go over and deal with something. So I have to go through all of these thoughts before acting, which means I have to have an awareness, and mostly of how I'm feeling about what's happening. Information, and then how I feel about it. And the more you're aware and practice being aware, the more you can create what I call space between the information coming to your awareness and your choosing what to do with it. Usually there's zero space and we just react. And if you can create space, there's time to actually make a decision and choose instead of just automated processes of reaction. All right, that was probably worth more than you could ever worry about for taking that forward. Go back and replay this over and over. This is how your system works or doesn't work when it's not working.